might be tough to budge. Back to you.
Greg, thank you very much. Let's bring back Christian Whiton now, former State Department senior advisor with the Bush administration. And Christian, Presidents Obama and Putin talked by phone. I mentioned that earlier, and it's been confirmed. Putin told him the vote in Crimea is legitimate. Apparently, he doesn't really care what the rest of the world thinks. What's important about that phone call?
Well, you know, it's the third or fourth call that the two leaders have had. You wonder what they have to talk about, because Putin does seem to be completely set in his ways. And, you know, the president can say that Russia is going to pay severe consequence for what they've done, and he has said that, and his Secretary of State has said that. But it's not really convincing. And Putin has been through this before, basically eating the president's lunch, if you will, over Syria and chemical weapons. And that red line. So once again, you know, they're getting the best of us in diplomacy.
The Russian military moving in heavily tonight, as you just heard from our report with Greg Palcott. Why?
Well, that's a valuable tool of intimidation, and you know, it certainly seems to have influenced the vote. I mean, who knows what the vote would have been had it been in truly fair and free conditions. But this is Putin's way of acting, you know, through either energy coercion is sort of the softer tool they use, and when that doesn't work, they've used the military, and they've paid very little price for it. First with Georgia in 2008, the nation of Georgia, and then now today with Crimea, basically taking these with very little expenditure and blood. And getting away with it.
Yeah. What do you think he wants, Putin? Do you think it's just Crimea?
You know, ultimately, they'd like to dominate everything that they consider they're near abroad. Putin has said the collapse of the Soviet Union and the independence of every nation in the Soviet Union, except for Russia, or from Russia, was a catastrophe. So he wouldn't, you know, he'd like to reconstitute part of that. Also, he's, you know, presiding over an economy that's not doing well. The ruble's off 10% over the last year, a lot recently. And this is what strong men do. They whip up nationalism and provoke fights with their neighbors, especially weak neighbors, to justify their rule.
Wow. And then you have to wonder, who would he listen to, and what that phone call, whether it were icy or otherwise, between the two presidents. Your final thought?
You know, ultimately, there's not a short-term solution here. I think we need to help Central Europe get off of Russian energy, ideally by selling them American natural gas and oil. So a long-term, I think we can actually shift Europe more toward us.
Christian Whiton, thank you. Two topics.